Hey everyone, it's Tom Hawk here with Evenant, and today I have the absolute pleasure of giving you an overview of Evenant's newest course, Orchestration Reloaded, Writing and Arranging for Strings by Andrzej Rozman. This is a course that aims to demystify and simplify the art of powerful and beautiful string writing, and give you the tangible tools and frameworks for writing any kind of arrangement for strings, whether it's simple but very effective chords and harmony, or extremely complex and textured statements. While the course does primarily focus on the bread and butter of the orchestra, the strings family, Andrzej does also spend a few hours on how you can expand your arrangements with woodwinds and brass instruments to access more of the orchestral colours. So let's have a look at what's inside. The course aims to give any aspiring composer the tools to use to craft effective string arrangements, whether that's for a MIDI mockup or live players. And a way that Andrzej makes this accessible to pretty much everyone is by going into depth in his framework that is called the Mahati method, which, if you break it down, it stands for melody, harmony, rhythm, and texture. And that's a method that he's created, and it's something that a lot of Evenant students have been using already. So when you go through this course, you'll see that the Mahati method is referenced over and over, and we keep coming back to it. So let's move on, and I'll give you a bit of information about each module, starting with Module 1. So the course starts out by giving you a foundational knowledge about important principles required to orchestrate well. You will find a small guide to writing and reading sheet music with a handy cheat sheet included, so you can revisit this whenever you want. Andrzej goes through the basics of his Mahati method, and he goes into detail about the string instruments, their origins, how they are played, and how you can write idiomatic lines for the instruments. Andrzej finishes the module by going through the theory of harmonics and overtones, and why this is some of the most important knowledge to know while you're arranging any kind of music. I personally found that really interesting, talking about the overtone series. I highly recommend looking out for that one. That's going to be quite interesting. So Module 2 basically looks at how to master the use of that Mahati method and how to use the Mahati method in a variety of applications. So the module starts with a simple piano sketch, and then we look at how you can write arrangements ranging from simple harmony and melody, harmonic movement, melodic fillers, as well as simple and advanced textures and rhythmic elements. In Module 3, you'll see Andrzej orchestrate a complete piece from scratch, putting his principles in action, going from a simple sketch like this to this. He first shows this in notation and then transitions it into his DAW Cubase and shows you how he approaches the same concept within a DAW environment. Here are some short snippets from what he'll be creating.
And actually I want the cello a bit quieter here. I feel like they're a bit too loud. I want to hear the violi play. 5th, 4th, 3rd, root.
In Module 4, we depart from the string writing and look at the basics of how you can efficiently use the brass and wind instruments of the orchestra to access even more colours and options for your writing. So in the future, there will be entire other courses following on from this one that go as in depth as this course does in strings. We didn't want to leave you hanging without any knowledge of these families, so there's a couple of hours of content ready for you to explore included in this course covering brass and woodwinds. Here are some examples of arrangements that Andrzej will create in this module. me quickly talk about the requirements to get the most out of this course. This is not a beginner composition course, so you will need some prior knowledge on the basics of composition and production, and you'll need to be able to write your own compositions in either a notation software like Sibelius or a DAW like Logic Pro or Cubase with sample libraries. If you're not comfortable with those requirements yet, then I'd recommend checking out Cinematic Music The Essentials and Cinematic Music 1 From Idea to Finished Recording, which are great resources on the Evenant platform to learn the fundamental principles that you need to start composing music. Andrzej will cover the principles in notation and in a DAW, but he's made sure that everything is easy to understand regardless of whether you can or can't read and write notation. You don't need to know how to speed read a full symphony to get value out of this course. Me personally, my sight reading with sheet music or, orchestral scores is very slow at this stage. It's getting a little bit better because it's something that I'm practicing, but for me personally, I still found this course useful even though I would consider myself extremely slow when it comes to reading sheet music. So I personally think that if you've got a bit of understanding of music theory, that's going to be a lot more valuable than being able to read sheet music. So to finish off this video now, I just want to go through some of the questions that you all asked about this course. So one of the questions we saw come up a few times was, what's the difference between this course and Arne's Cinematic Music 1 and Cinematic Music 2 courses? And if you already have both, is it worth getting this course? So Arne's courses cover all the crucial information on a surface level across both composition, orchestration, production, and mockups. While this course spends nearly 10 hours primarily on just orchestration, with the main focus being on powerful string writing. It's a great way to dive deeper into orchestration and build upon what you might have learned from Arne's courses already. There were a few questions about, is it about part writing or something like how to make your string patches sound better, general programming of CCs to make it sound more realistic. So this course is definitely more about part writing, but there are a few videos on how to program in a DAW using MIDI CCs, how to get good CC curves if you're working in a DAW, that kind of thing. But there's definitely more focus on the actual part writing itself. So one question that we also saw come up was, will this also cover harps, which can, kind of be classed as strings sometimes as well? This course just focuses on the strings family that you traditionally have, like violins 1, violins 2, violas, celli, and basses. And one final question, when is the course being released? Well, it's released on the 13th of November, 2020, which is today. So it's out now. Go check it out. All right, I think we'll leave it there for this video. I hope you found this useful. Let us know if you have any questions down below, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you think of this course because Andrzej really has shared a lot of really great principles, and we really think it's going to be something that will be helpful to all of you in your studies and furthering yourselves as composers and learning more about orchestration. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.